Is Yasmin back? Ibtihaj, you're muted.
Yeah, I think Yasmin should be ready as well.
Okay.
Yasmin, here.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I'm just gonna start streaming in a moment. Just a couple more seconds, and then we will be live. Okay, assalamu alaikum everyone. We are now live streaming on Facebook. My name is Elaf Siddiqui. I am the sponsorship manager here at Miss Toronto. Today we have a really exciting workshop info session for anyone who's interested in all things community service, in particular, hopefully to encourage you and your friends to sign up for the humanitarian competition this year. So we are joined by Islamic Relief Canada, who are a humanitarian organization and also our platinum sponsor for Miss Toronto. With over 100 partner offices around the world, they strive to alleviate poverty and help those in need through immediate relief and sustainable projects. So we'll hear from Yasmin and Ibtihaj today, but before that, let's go over what the humanitarian competition looks like with our competition managers. So we have Michelle and Neda with us. Are they here?
Yep. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name is Michelle. I am one of the competition's co-chairs this year for Miss Toronto. Really excited to work with you all on this competition. Neda, do you want to introduce yourself for anyone who's just joined?
Yes, everyone. My name is Neda, and I'm also the comps co-chair this year along with Michelle.
Yeah, so we're just going to be going through the rules as some of the rules and regulations and guidelines have changed for the humanitarian service competition. Just very briefly, because of the fact that it is a group competition, this year, alhamdulillah, we're allowing up to 2 groups per Miss team to register and participate in the Humanitarian Service competition. So 2 teams from each school are allowed to register. Each team can have from 1 to 6 students registered in the competition. The rules and regulations in terms of submission, it follows the same process as any of the other competitions in terms of it should be all in one document. It should be labeled with your Miss ID and not your name or any other identifying information in the final submission. The students, all as youth students, will be essentially crowdfunding for Islamic Relief Canada this year, inshallah, as opposed to Islamic Relief USA, which is something that's really exciting. And the Islamic Relief Canada team will go over soon, inshallah. And the content and essentially what you are crowdfunding for should be an explanation of the campaign that you're running, as well as any incentives or plans that you aim to implement to help said submission. And you are expected to include in your submission how your cause has been impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic, as well as how your fundraising is going to aim to assist or help with said pandemic.
There are also a couple of other marketing plans that you should have set for your campaign. Some of them are mandatory and others are optional, such as the mandatory ones are the campaign goals, campaign plan and calendar, ideal, like the profile and the marketing methods that you'll be using throughout your campaign. And then there's other optional campaign materials that you can create, such as a digital and physical collateral like pamphlets and posters and all of that. And then there are a couple of more options that you have that you can check out on the rulebook, inshallah. In terms of the presentation on the day of, you need to come in with a presentation about the lessons you've learned throughout the campaign and how much you've fundraised throughout the campaign. There are other also optional materials that you would provide during the campaign, such as the marketing ROI, the conversion rate, and again, there are multiple things that you can go through the rulebook that will outline all of these optional materials that you can give. Yeah, I think that's it for the specific rules. Again, all of it is available in the rulebook, so refer back to that, and if not, then email us at competitions@misstoronto.com and we'll answer any of your questions, or Instagram is also an option. So.
Okay, awesome. If you guys have any questions throughout, feel free to use the chat box. I'll moderate that for our speakers as well. So if you have any questions for anybody, throw those in there. For anyone watching live, we'll look through the comments as well, I guess, if they come in. But without further ado, we have Yasmin and Ibtihash. Ibtihash, you should be able to share your screen if you need to.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much. I think it's saying desktop 1 or Safari. I'm not exactly sure which one to click.
Whatever one you have your screen open to.
Okay. Just give me 1 second. Going through
Safari will share just your web browser, and desktop will share your entire screen, your entire laptop screen.
Okay. I'm gonna have to quit and then reopen. I'm so sorry about that. It's just my laptop wasn't ready. So let me just do that real quick.
That's totally okay.
Assalamu alaikum.
Yes, welcome, assalam.
Please enable the chat. I'm not sure if it's like I can't find it.
Oh, let me show as a chat disabled. Okay, I will enable that. Did you have a question, Habiba, that you want to ask?
Yes. What category is the Humanitarian Service competition in?
Group projects.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right. I'll try to share my screen now. All right. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, you're good to go.
Excellent. Alrighty, so I believe we're going to get Sister Yasmin to start us off, inshallah.
Okay, cool. We're starting off with the cool one. So getting right into it, just like we mentioned earlier, this is going to be a how to be a change maker, how to make a difference, and most importantly for what we're here for today, it's part of how to be a successful humanitarian in the competition that you're entering with Miss Toronto. We are very excited to be here. I think someone's drawing on my PowerPoint, but it's cool, you know, make it even better. Yeah, let's just get into it.
I'm trying to click next.
Yo, Ibtihaj, you're usually better than this. Okay, cool.
I'm sorry. Right.
It's fine. He's actually one of the smartest ones in the office. Don't be fooled. So we're starting off with our schedule for the day. I made a joke earlier and then I got yelled at by my younger sister who is in high school, but I'm going to say it anyway. What's poppin'? No, am I too old for this now? What's the second one? Is like brand new. We've just hopped in. Am I cool? High schoolers, please.
Yes, we just stop.
Okay, my intention was good, which takes us to our intentions. Starting off with purifying our intentions, remembering what we're doing this for. Of course, we want to win Mist. Of course, we want points, but you know, remembering who we're doing this for, what we're doing this for. Then we're going to jump into brainstorming how to do it, launching your campaign, making sure that you continue the momentum that you're going to start here. And of course, like I said earlier, the intention is number one, most important thing. But everyone still wants prizes, so we're going to get into that too.
Alrighty, so I'm going to kind of explain about intentions. So like Yasmin said, that, you know, we're definitely doing this for like, well, we're doing it for Mist as well because we're part of the Mist competition. We're doing it to get points and hopefully prizes at the end as well. But the main reason why we're doing this is to help the beneficiaries around the world. And in order to explain more about the work that Islamic Relief does and where all your contributions will be going, I'd like to share a video with you of a follow your donation video. I will also be linking that and then maybe Mist can post it on Facebook later on as well. So I hope you guys can all hear this video. If you can't, let me know, but please enjoy.
This day was a crazy day. This trip every day is more profound than the day before. And the day before was the most profound thing I've ever experienced. So in this Ramadan food distribution, during the month of Ramadan, what Islamic Relief does is prepare and distribute food packs to families across the world. We are here in Nairobi and wish you all the best from Gaza. My mission was to see what exactly does our zakat do to the Ramadan spirit to people around the world. So we're back on the road off to our next destination, which is Lebanon. Exciting, everyone. So alhamdulillah, we're in Beirut. This is an olive tree. Olive tree. It's not like an olive tree. This is a roman. It's a pomegranate. Straight away, we meet the Lebanon team. Okay. So, yes, 0.8 liters of sunflower oil, 400 grams of tomato paste, 500 grams of spaghetti, and then you've got dates, sugar, apricot jam, canned beans, hummus. Sorry, the population of Lebanon, of Lebanese people, is 4.5 million people. But the refugees, 1.5 million. Subhanallah. Over a quarter of the population of the country are Syrian refugees. Ay, mashallah. أنا اسمه فياض. فياض. أيوة. أهلا فيك حبيبي. mashallah. And you're the noor of the camp, mashallah. They don't turn the lights out. This guy's face will smile, everything, mashallah. Look right there. So subhanallah, the process, no matter where we go, is very efficient when it comes to food distribution. What you're looking at is a truck full of hundreds of parcels, hundreds of packages of food. And what happens is the team, 2 days before they come out here, they write out the names of all the recipients on each one onto a card. So they're numbered and they're serialized so that there's no incidents of duplication or someone missing out. He's saying you are not laughing with him? Oh, no, I laugh with you. I laugh with you. It's not only is it cold up here, He's taking the halawa, you see that? One of the first things we did was pray Jummah at a mosque in a refugee camp. And although this mosque may have been missing some bricks, the people inside of it were full of heart. Sujood, so we should make more sujood.
Yes.
Subhanallah, ahsant. Oh, mashallah.
I volunteered in the Islamic Relief
All the way,
for
mashallah.
4 years.
MashaAllah. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Beautiful.
اشتغلنا برمضان شيخ مع Islamic Relief. طبعا السنة كل يوم نطلع مسجد.
He said that out of all the Ramadans he's ever had in his life in Syria, in peace, the best Ramadan he's ever had in his life was the first one he had here in Lebanon. When he was with Islamic Relief and volunteering and giving out food distribution and being helpful to his own community here, that it was the best Ramadan he ever experienced. Now that we're finished Jummah, we're hitting the road to distribute food packs all across Lebanon. Come, look at the zaytun. Have the zaytun. This is a za'atar tree. This is where the za'atar comes from. Qadda.
What is that?
Grapes. This land is blessed. This is a blessed land. This day was a crazy day. So about 250 meters down this hill is where the last camp that we visited today. We're in the town of Ketermaya, and we've met with about 300 families, alhamdulillah, just today. We met an orphan family who actually, the orphans had lost both their parents, and the grandmother is raising them.
نورتوني أنا نورتوني قضيتوا من حلب لبيروت تميت يمكن 4 أيام على الطريق يصير قذائف وهذا وحطها الأولاد بالكرتونة ننام بالطريق يعني شيء ننام بالباص شيء ننام بالأرض بالطريق هيك تعذبت شوي جبتهم على الأمان يعني أنا وأولادي كانوا كتير يعني من النوع اللي بيحترموا الام يعني انا هذا ابني الاصغر واحد ما بتذكر انه بيبوس ايدي بيكون بالشارع ماشي ما طلع اجري بس شافني بدي ما طلع يجي يبوس اجري مشان هيك يعني بحس اولادهم يعني ايش ما عملت اولادهم ما بوفي اولادهم مشان هيك بحس بهم ما بوفيهم اي شيء وبعدين انه راحوا شهداء يعني الشهيد اكرم من في الدنيا واكرم من البشر يعني انه الشهداء رفعوا راسي يعني الناس يعني شايف عن أولى وسام شرف أنا أرفع رحلي يعني كمان ليش ما بفتخر يعني بضل بفتخر يعني بحس بفتخر أولادي
This is his garden? This is his garden. MashaAllah, this kid's a troublemaker, but he's got some green thumbs. MashaAllah. Very good job, bro. High five.
The logo.
أنا هيك بحس بالقوة يعني لما بشوف ناس بتسأل علي وبتتذكرني بحس في الله ما قطع الخير الله يجزيهم الخير يعني الله يجزيهم الخير لأنه يعني الحرب طالت وتعبوا معنا.
As the sun starts to set, we decide to join the families in iftar. Tonight, as you break your fast, just know that because of you, there are people on the other side of the world able to break their fast. Their iftars might not be as grand, and their houses may be different. But the power of the zakat you give changes everything. And the spirit of Ramadan fills their hearts, just as it fills ours.
So as you can see, the impact of your work is much more than just MIST, than just Islamic Relief. It is the lives of many, many people that have been struggling through war zones or that don't have what we take for granted in our country. So this is what we are fighting for. This is what you are doing. This is what it means to be a change maker, which is who you are. So I wanted to kind of go over what your role is going to be, inshallah. So your role is going to be on creating good ideas and implementing them and trying to make it impact, a great impact in countries abroad, inshallah, as well as here. So where do ideas come from in general? Well, for any biology student, you kind of know, like, it's not one neuron in your brain that creates the idea. It's like a network of neurons that come together, and the pathway of those neurons are the ones that generate a new idea. Now, if you're learning something from this presentation, if you learn something from that from the video, then your brain has literally created a new pathway. It has physically changed. So why don't we take that idea of like neurons kind of connecting with one another, creating a network to generate a new idea, and expand that outside, right? So a new idea is not just generated by one person. It's a network of people. We call it liquid network. I'll give you a good example. So a recent campaign that Islamic Relief had was the wellness kits. What we did is we provided different things such as the Quran, soap, black seed oil, and other like a maswak and everything in a form of a kit so that people can obtain health benefits. But where did this idea come from? And by the way, this campaign went all over Ontario, alhamdulillah. Well, the idea came while people were sitting together and they were discussing on what to do for 2021. What's something that people are looking for? What is it that people want? Well, it's 2021, it's a new year. People are looking to do resolutions. Cool. Well, what types of resolutions? Well, it's usually health related or finance related. Is there something that we can do to help them out? Or what are they just coming from? Well, they're just coming from a terrible 2020, and people are bouncing off these different ideas. It's like, okay, cool. So how do we provide wellness for people? Well, and kind of also put an Islamic relief twist into it, or an Islamic twist to it. Well, what provides wellness for people? Well, it's the Quran. It's hygiene. It's hygiene supplies. It's part of some parts of the hadith where it says, you should use black seed oil or black seeds. So we provided black seed oils. Now, all of this idea didn't just come from one person. It came from a network of people. So the idea is that for you to have or come up with good ideas, you need to bring a lot of people together and to create this idea. Now, this campaign didn't just stop there. We're continuing this campaign. Inshallah, we're having webinars for mental health, and then we go further beyond that. It's like how to be financially independent or finance literacy for the youth, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So you can have a small idea and it can just continue to branch off and become bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's how you become a change maker. Now, but how do you actually execute these ideas? A lot of people might have ideas, but like, how do you make them, make them come to life? Well, the idea is that you want to take big problems and you want to break it down to smaller problems that you can solve. Solve each of those independent problems, and then your big problem is solved. I'll give you an example. So what is a big problem? So for example, I want to fundraise to support water irrigation system in Somalia. Cool. What type of campaign will I be running? So we will go on, we'll further go on into detail about the types of different campaigns. So that's a big problem. That's a smaller problem that we're solving. What type of campaign am I going to be running? How much do I want to fundraise, and why do I want to fundraise that amount? Why do I want to fundraise 5,000? Is it so I can support, like, is that what it costs to like create a irrigation system for a farmer? Do I want to support one farmer or two farmers? Then you also want to emulate from different organizations. For example, Islamic Relief Canada. How does Islamic Relief fundraise? Or how does IRC fundraise? Or how does IRUSA fundraise? Yes, I'm only going to be naming Islamic Relief, of course. But also, like, how can this campaign gain attention in social media? What gets attention in social media? What should I do that will raise awareness to the most amount of people? But furthermore, one of the most important questions is, what do my friends and I like doing? Remember, these are your events. You want to have fun in them as well. So do events that you enjoy. If you enjoy like calligraphy, create a calligraphy event. If you enjoy listening to slam poetry, do that, do what makes you happy. Finally, you also want to think about what inspires people to donate towards the cause. So do you want it to be upbeat, or do you want it to be empathetic or sympathetic cause? And also you want to talk, and other examples of smaller problems would be, so do I need to contact a speaker or supplier? So do you want to contact Mufti Menk or Eminem? No, don't call Eminem, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so the idea is to have a big problem, and you want to break it down to smaller problems, solve each of these problems, and then you can eventually solve the bigger problem.
Yes, I'll take out from here, mostly because I don't know why I start with the Eminem hate. Eminem's great, thank you very much. Totally call Eminem as a speaker. But yeah, so basically, more importantly, where do I start? There's so much that you have to take into account. For example, sponsorships. If this is an event where you need to start off with some funds just to start, if it's going to be an event in person, if COVID comes down or whatever it is it going to be an event where you want a speaker, where you want to sell something? I'm not sure about the MIST rules, but if you are looking to do things like this, then you would need some money to start off with. To do that, you could start with, looking for sponsors. So for example, find local businesses, find people that you have connections with, find other Muslim organizations that are looking to support people like you that are trying to make a difference, and tell them in exchange, maybe I'll give you marketing experiences, maybe marketing platform, maybe I'll you'll be able to know that you supported a very good cause. That's all very important to people. And then secondly, also very important to people is the team roles. So making sure that everyone in your team has something to do. Everyone in your team gets an opportunity to speak their mind. This doesn't mean that you have to make roles like president, vice president, secretary, like all that very thought out stuff. That is also very important, but it could be as simple as let's be able to, like Ibtihash said, brainstorm together. We each get to put our own twist on things. We each get to I don't know, just experience this together, work as a team. Everyone gets a piece of the cake. And then we'll go over the campaign type, reach, and the audience and marketing a little more in detail in the next couple of slides.
My apologies on that.
That's okay. I totally just exposed that we used Canva. So cool before.
That was great.
Okay, so what are we even doing? A question that comes up in everyone's life every single day, but more importantly for this campaign, if do you want to do an event? So for example, would you need speakers? Like he said, do you want to reach out to Mufti Menk? How would you get there? What sort of equipment do you need if you're going to do a live event, if you're going to do an in-person event, or do you need a venue? Keeping these things in mind. A product, if you're going to be selling a product like we did with the wellness kits, you sell a product and in return all the profits go to charity. That could be another campaign type that you could do. For that, look out for your audience, who you're going to be targeting. If you're going to be trying to target people around your own age, probably don't sell cars. I don't know. Keep it within your audience and keep it within a reasonable budget. Earlier, someone mentioned something about an ROI. You have to make sure that whatever you are selling, you're keeping in mind a return of investment. So how much you want to make back, For example, is it a 1-to-2 ratio? You want to make double what you spend. Is it a 1-to-5 ratio? You want to make 5 times what you spend. And yeah, so on and so forth. If it's a campaign like a challenge, this is something that people, like for example, if you tell your network, I'm going to bike 100 kilometers. And then you're like, if you give me $20, I'm going to bike this 100 kilometers. Or more recently, me and Ihtihaj did the crazy campaign of skydiving. So we were like, you know, if you guys donate $1,000, then we're going to go fall out of the sky. It was horrible. Don't do it.
By the way, I'm just going to tell a story. Yasmin and her instructor were fighting while she was falling down from like to the earth.
It's true. I told you don't do it. Like, actually don't. I was like throwing hands in the air. I was like, it was horrible. And I threw up after. Don't do it. But, you know, for a greater cause, keep your intentions in mind, all of that. But yeah, and then last but definitely not least, a marketing campaign, keeping it all online. This is probably the most manageable right now, and it obviously does very well. If you want to share with your network, they share with their network. Like Ihtihaj said, you put a voice to it, you put an empathetic voice, an adventurous voice, a very lively voice. Why do they want to donate to your cause, and market that online, make it go viral, and so on and so forth. We've seen many of these. And yeah, to do that, you have to figure out who your audience is. What age group are you targeting, and what attracts this age group? What area do they live in? For example, I don't know if you guys remember back in elementary school, which some of you was just last year. For me, it was like 50 years ago. So we would have Jumpstart. I think it's Jumpstart. Something where Heart and Stroke Foundation, where they would make you skip rope, and the more jump ropes you do, the more you raise money, something along those lines. So you have, if you're aiming for elementary students, you would give them something for their age group. You wouldn't give a 50-year-old, you know, a jump rope competition. No offense to very fit 50-year-olds. And then also look out for where they live and the greatest need in that area. For example, I don't know, if you're going to be somewhere in a area with majority Muslim people, you would deliver things that are Muslim based. If you're in an area with majority Caucasian people, you wouldn't give them really scary, spicy food and try to sell it to them because they're not going to buy it. Keep all these things in mind. How would you facilitate the need that they have? What's their background? What food? Just like I said, take in consideration what their interests are. These all give you hints about who your audience is and what they would like from you, and how you can go viral in your network. I made like a very quick, not a to-do list, but maybe think about these things list. For example, logistics that you want to take a look at are your objectives, your targets, and your theme ideas. So objectives, it could be something like the intention that you had earlier, the targets, how much you want to raise, the event theme. Is this going to be a very, somber type of campaign? Is it going to be a very uplifting and happy campaign? Keep an eye out for those. Schedule your plan with deadlines. As soon as you start, just kind of sit down with your team after the brainstorming session is over and you know what you want to do. You say, by March 6th, we have to have the poster done. By March 7th, the poster is going to be posted online. By, I don't know, March 20th, we're going to be reaching out to these influencers and asking them to market it, or whatever it is. If it is an event, you need an equipment list, a day of plan, and roles, like for example, who's going to usher, who's going to look at comments for questions, who's going to set up the stage, whatever it is. And in every single meeting that you have, making sure that you're taking notes. Notes are so important. They keep you on track. There's something you can show the judges later. That's a hint. There's something that you can, look back on. Things move so quickly in the brainstorming session, you'll lose track of everything. So have someone dedicated to just taking notes during each of your meetings. And yeah. For marketing, similar to scheduling your earlier plan, you should have a social media plan. So we want to create this many posters. We should make a video. We should have this for, you know, our bio if we're making a whole Instagram page. It's up to you guys, whatever you want to do. Yeah, a poster and a graphic design plan. Of course, it's totally fine if you guys want to go on like Word and just type in donate to me, but maybe less like look more professional, a little less how do I say this, hostagey, and you know, try to make something more appealing to the eye, something that's more likely to go viral, something that, you know, people can understand with all the information that you need. And then keeping in mind the donating platform that you want to use. Of course, I don't know the MIST rules again, but if you want to go through LaunchGood, if you want to donate straight to the website, if you want to do cash only, not sure, but you have to think about these things ahead of time. And coordinating with other organizations. So similar to, you know, work with us and we can give you tips. We can, you know, if you ask us, can you share this for us? You know, maybe we can be like, yeah, sure. And you can get access to our network, maybe a network with a sponsor that you might be working with, so on and so forth. And finally, finance, keeping in mind all the money collections that are coming in and who's donating the money. So if you get a big donation, try to send a thank you message afterwards. This ensures that people understand that, you know, you value their time. If you do this again in the future, which hopefully you will, because we hope that everyone here will continue trying to make change in the world. But if you do this again, you know, you know that they'll donate again. They feel confident in the place that they're donating. They know that, you know, I've made a difference. I'm not just going on Google and giving $20 to this random website and I don't even know where it's going or if it's going to make a difference or whatever it is. You know, it's nice to upkeep with your donors. And an Excel sheet to track the ins and outs of whatever you're spending or gaining. If it is an event where I have to spend money, remembering who spent what, for what, and how am I going to pay them back. Keeping all of that in mind is very important.
So how to continue? Now, remember, going back to the start of the presentation, that this is about, you know, continuing to be a change maker, because this is not just about MIST. This is not just about Islamic Relief. This is about you and your personal growth. So there are methods past MIST that you can use to continue to be a change maker. First thing you can do is, of course, raise awareness. Right? You can post on social media and just kind of know about what's going on in the world. You can definitely volunteer your time, not just with Islamic Relief, not just with MIST, but like with other organizations, with your local food banks. I know they're looking for a lot of volunteers at the moment. You can also work with nonprofits in your professional life after you graduate from university or post-secondary education. Obviously, you want to keep in mind and research what is going on in the world. And that ties back to raise awareness, is that if you don't know what's happening, you won't be able to share with anyone, right? So always keep an open mind, keep doing your research, look at the news, and stay updated. But of course, you can also continue to donate and fundraise as well if you would like. But lastly, and also most importantly, you should always be making du'as right after your prayers, the 5 obligatory prayers. Please do continue to make du'as for the people in need all around the world. They definitely need it, and it doesn't take anything from us, and it shows the purity of our intentions. Speaking of intentions, let's get to the prizes. So, Alhamdulillah, Islamic Relief is providing a lot of prizes for the first, second, and third place winners. So, can I get a drum roll, please, for the third position? Fantastic drum roll, thank you. So the team that gets into the third place position, will get $1,000 scholarship towards the university that they go to, university or college, any post-secondary education. Also, we will sponsor an event, like IRC will sponsor an event for you. So if you had a big idea, but you needed like a lot of money for it, no problem. IRC will have you covered. We will do that event and we will support you and use Islamic Relief's resources, our marketing team, our campaigning team, our fundraising team, to help your idea come to real life. And that's just the third place. All right, drum rolls for the second place. Fantastic. Okay, I like how Yasmin's making fun of me now. $3,000 scholarship for the team that gets second place position. And again, sponsored events from Islamic Relief. Again, bringing your ideas to life, inshallah. And for the first place, the team that gets to the first place, tickets to IRC challenges. Now, I'm not sure if you're aware, IRC had challenges pre-COVID where we would take a team and go to places like Machu Picchu, and you would climb the mountains and also raise awareness and fundraise for that. So we are giving away 3 tickets to the winner of this team, inshallah. And also the team will receive a $5,000 scholarship for, again, their post-secondary education. Of course, we are also going to sponsor their ideas and their events, inshallah. So if you are watching this after and you're just going through your Facebook feed, Assalamu alaikum, my name is Ibhaj. Obviously, you've skipped to this part. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, so these are the prizes that you will be competing for, inshallah. So if you have any questions, please refer to Yasmin. I don't need to answer any of the questions. You can contact me as well. So our emails are down there. We can share this presentation with Mist, inshallah, but also you can take a screenshot. You can always contact us if you have any questions, if you're stuck, if you have an idea and you don't know if it's a good idea or not, if you need some help with marketing or whatnot, contact us. We're here to help you. But other than that, does anyone have any other questions?
Does anybody have any questions at the moment that they wanted to ask? You can always raise your hand. I know the chat is disabled, but if you want to raise your hand and unmute, that's an option. But thank you guys so much. Thank you, Ibtihaj and Yasmin. Those prizes are amazing. Am I allowed to compete is my question. If I could, I would. As we wait for anyone else's question, I did have one. Did you guys have any tips for the students in terms of, since they can't do in-person events, perhaps for this year's Mist, any ideas to fundraise online, ways to get people engaged, type of events to do online, anything along those lines?
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of online events do well as well. Obviously, Islamic Relief has shifted more towards online events as well due to the pandemic. Some examples are like online tournaments. They do pretty well. So you can set up like a chess tournament. I'm really into chess. So if you set up a chess tournament, I will be playing, right? Where it could be like a $5 entry fee, and then, you know, all the donations that are going towards your cause. You can also do just like normal marketing campaigns, which often do really well as well. So for example, you can just talk about the initiative that Islamic Relief is doing. So for example, for orphan sponsorships, this is what Islamic Relief is doing. If you'd like to donate and try to go within your network and try to expand the viewers onto your launch good page. But right now, like Islamic Relief is doing, if you are able to, if you have the capacity to, we're also doing two-door delivery campaigns. We just had a wellness campaign. Before that, we had an olive oil delivery campaign where you would buy a product from us, and then we would deliver that product to your door. You can also make stuff like that as well. So for example, you can do baked goods. Actually, do contact your local authorities for that, because I believe you do need a vendor's license. But you know, don't quote me on that kind of stuff. Make sure everything is legal and stuff. But you can do a lot of, like, you can actually make like bracelets or whatnot and start trying to sell them as well. So there's a lot that you can do online.
Yeah, so if you go back to the slide about types of campaigns, I think I went over a couple of them. There are also challenges. So you don't have to meet up in person to do challenges. You can just encourage people in your network. I'm asking you to, go take a walk by yourself, and then by yourself make a page where you raise money for the amount of kilometers that you walk. Or walk, drive, just a little bit of cheating, it's fine, right? Yeah, and also, like he said, deliveries, bringing in a speaker, doing an online event. If you want to do a competition, you don't have to do chess, don't listen to him, it's okay. You can do like a video game event. You can do like I know a lot of people are doing Among Us. I don't know if that's still like a thing anymore. You look at what's, interesting in your community, what you're passionate about, like we said earlier, and try to make something out of it. See what your hobbies are, what's trendy right now, what you think people would be interested in being a part of, and work with those.
Thank you so much. That's amazing. We do have a hand up, Lean Zachar, if you want to unmute yourself.
So I was wondering, like, is the winner determined based on like the school that raises the most money, or is it like the creativity of the idea, or like other factors?
I believe Mist can answer that.
Yeah, if Michelle or Neda want to speak on that. So is the winning prize based on most creativity or most funds raised? Michelle, Neda?
I think that also is to the discretion of IRC, like whatever you guys would want to award to the students. I mean, we do, like, the judges do mark them based on varying factors. So it's up to your discretion as to what you would want us to let the students
absolutely. know. So by the way, Yasmin is going to be one of the judges, so you have to impress her and not me. You don't have to do chess then, I guess. But I think it would be a combination of both. Obviously, like it's not all about the amount that you have fundraised, but it's also about the awareness. How far did your post get to? But also, you're right, like the creativity of your project. I think it's going to be a combination of all of those factors, not just one or the other, that will help decide who the winner is.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, fantastic. Did anyone have any other questions? You can feel free to unmute. If not, thank you guys very much. Yasmin and Tehesh, once again, it was wonderful having you guys. Everyone else, tell your friends about the prize for this year's, or don't if you're the one who wants to win. But yeah, that's all from us. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you guys.